This is going to be a weird episode for a few reasons that I'll get to in a bit. First of all, to explain, this episode is dedicated to Tyler Nichols, whose book, The Crimson Summer, we've promoted before. He's a friend of the company, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I will anyhow. We're publishing one of his short stories in an upcoming anthology book we're working on releasing next month or so. Very happy about that. Always happy to have him with the company, and it's a great book. I've reviewed it in the past, so I won't reiterate, but it's essentially a slasher movie. It's given more depth being the written medium rather than film. A lot more time to expand upon it. You can see it's a thick volume here, and I really enjoyed it. Maureen liked it a lot. He has a great YouTube channel that I've really enjoyed that's helped me through the pandemic, just keeping me entertained, keeping me interested in horror, and really reigniting my passion for the genre. And that's what inspired me to watch these movies again, because I was not into The Conjuring when I first saw it, and I saw his videos and his enthusiasm for the genre in mainstream American horror films, something I really have not personally been enthused about for a very long time. And it made me want to go back and hopefully I could feel that way about it. And he mentions the Annabelle series. I don't know if he's talked directly about The Conjuring. I believe he has, but it's been a bit since I've watched the videos, and I watch them in rapid succession, just like M&Ms, just one after the other till the bag's done. Really fun stuff. It was a great watch in October. I should have done this video then, but there's a reason it's called Halloween Hangover. So, yeah, he discussed the Annabelle series, which he really enjoys. I have not seen those. I saw The Conjuring when it was first released. I saw it pretty much around the time DVD release in a small, big screen environment at college. And I was kind of uncomfortable with some of it because of the Warrens and how they're presenting these heroes. And personally, as someone who doesn't put much stock into these kind of stories' legitimacy, I was just uncomfortable back then. And I don't want to be that kind of Reddit trope everybody mocks on the internet. It's like, I prefer atmospheric, slow burn horror films to jump scares. But generally, I do kind of prefer that stuff. But one of the things that really got me interested in giving this another chance was that there was a lot of promise when I first watched it. I liked the first half of the movie a lot, but it kind of dropped the ball for me in the second half. And I was watching The Haunting, the original black and white film, and I realized that film has a lot of big stuff too. I mean, this film, I always make the joke that, I like when you see a door slowly creak open, like, oh, was that a ghost? But in the Conjuring movies, the door explodes and splinters everywhere, and there's wood sticking out of someone's face. And like, was that a ghost? It's just too much. It's too explosive. You could really tell James Wan was leaning towards blockbuster direction. And I watched it this time as a popcorn movie, as a fun summer film, as a blockbuster, essentially, with the aesthetics of horror. And I really wanted to end up giving like an 8 and 8.5 rewatching it. Unfortunately, I wasn't totally swayed over, but I did still enjoy what I liked about the first time watching, and I liked some things that I didn't like so much the first time watching it. The first thing I want to get into is the Warrens. I don't actually know. I always the actors' names. I always refer to the dude as Ocean Master because of Aquaman, which I'm a huge fan of. Once again, another reason I get another chance. Yeah, Patrick Wilson, and I'm going to say her name wrong, Vera Farmiga. I'm sorry. They're both very good as the Warrens. You like their chemistry, their relationship. There's this great blue-collar quality to how they're presented that I really like. It's almost very similar to Ghostbusters or something, but much, much more grounded and less comedic. Although there are laughs in the movie. There's jokes, some of which are legitimately funny. And the family's being haunted as well. First of all, the house itself's great. I mean, the classic shot that everybody knows with the hanging rope on the tree. It's great. It's a really classic horror shot. The jump scare, which Juan basically just copy-pasted from Insidious, still works. But the family in the house as well. You really like them. I mean, we get, what's her name, Lisa from 6 Feet Under, and Lloyd's best friend from the movie Say Anything. I always forget her name, but she's great. And she's always fun to watch, so it was great seeing her as a mother. The father is that dude from Office Space who has no name as far as I'm aware. The kids are likable. They're kind of kids. I mean, they make fart jokes, they tease each other, they chase each other. And there's a lot of horror tropes, a lot of stuff here, a ton of scares, some of which work, some of which don't. I will say this right off the bat. The scene with the two kids in the bedroom, and there's something in the corner of the room, you don't see it, is just great suspense building. It's what I love about the horror genre. I think it's immaculate until they show the ghost, and it's like a dude in makeup are like, ah! And there's like violence, screeching or whatever. But he earned it. So that gets a pass. I think that the clapping, they play a game where it's basically Marco Polo. They close their eyes and you get 3 claps, and the person looking for the others, like a game of tag, gets 3 claps, and the others clap, obviously, for each clap. And the mother's playing the game with the daughter, and of course, she goes in a room, there's a wardrobe, and you see the door slowly open, and it's dark, and you see hands reach out, like Michael Myers' face in Halloween, and she says, 3rd clap, and the ghost claps. That's really earned. I mean, it's such a trope. You could tell as soon as they play the game that bad things are going to happen with it, but it works. Same with the box, which is shown on this, in my opinion, kind of cheap slipcover. I much prefer the actual theatrical poster, but it works. And James Wan, I mean, he directs the heck out of this movie. There's some tracking shots that are too good. I don't want to say too good for the horror genre, because I don't look down on the horror genre, but he really is just doing everything he can with this movie, just throwing everything at the wall. And a lot of it sticks. Now, for me personally, especially towards the 3rd act, I love the part where Patrick Wilson has to be the one to exorcise the ghost. I like that the mother gets possessed. I think that actress, Lisa from 6 Feet Under, is a great fit for that kind of thing. The part where it's a child killer and inhabits her body just to kill the kids, I think is really creepy. I think it works. Once again, it may not be, a typical ghost story that's plausible, but I don't think ghost stories are plausible, so that doesn't really bother me as much anymore, because I'm a little more cynical about that. Believe it or not, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not a literal adaptation of police reports and transcripts. There's some creative liberties there, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre is still 10 out of 10, so that stuff doesn't bother me. But nonetheless, when her chair starts floating, going upside down, it's cool, I like it, but I also kind of don't. It's a little too much. I don't blame them. I mean, The Exorcist does it too. The Exorcist goes nuts, but I just feel like The Exorcist does it better. It's a little more finessed. I'm not a Blumhouse horror guy. To me, those are like the new drive-in movies, but it's like for 12, 13-year-olds getting dropped off by their moms and they go on their first date, and it's, there's jump scares, and, the girl kind of grabs her first boyfriend or whatever, and it's cute. It's just not for me. I'm just not that guy. So that's cool. I used to get offended by that kind of thing. Who cares? It's a movie. If it brings people joy, who am I to judge? I like much worse stuff than that, and I personally love drive-in movies, so I get that the same kind of joy I have at watching those old black and white alien movies that are really corny, people probably have for a lot of Blumhouse movies, and of course I enjoy some of them. But I think this one is definitely the gold standard for Blumhouse stuff. I think that it's just better directed, it's better acted, the characters are better. Ultimately, though, I liked it. I wanted to give it an 8. I really wanted to give it that 8. But it just fell a little short for me. Now, for me, anything above a 5 is positive. I mean, I'm not talking trash in the movie. I enjoyed it. But it didn't completely win me over. It's not one of my favorite movies. Not even my favorite movies of the decade in terms of horror. But it's a decent one. It's a good date movie, and that's exactly how I'd sum it up. It's a little bit on the long side. I know the sequel's at least 2 hours. I don't know how long this one is. 112 minutes, so it's a little bit over an hour and a half mark, 10 minutes over, and you feel that, which I think is good, because it allows the story to breathe. You get to, the house feels a little more lived in, the characters, you feel like you spent more time with them, which is exactly what a film like this needs. But I'd say it's a good date movie. If you're having friends over and watch a movie, it's fun. I definitely think it's better than Insidious, which to me is just a millennial poltergeist without any of the fun. I really don't know what more to say. I could talk about the sequel. I watched that as well, and I didn't give it a fair chance. I had a major long shot books of Crisis pop up halfway through, so I was doing some major grinding for the company at that point. More to come on that, but it didn't win me over in the first half. I saw it really went too far with all the offshoots of the Crooked Man and the Nun and this and that, and it seemed like a kid's movie, to be honest. Like, if it was like a Goosebumps movie, I wouldn't think twice about it. So for the target audience, which I'm not, the second one might be great. For me, as a 26 going on 27-year-old man, didn't quite fit my bill, and that's okay, I guess. Whatever, no harm done. But anyhow, so those are my thoughts on The Conjuring. Once again, please check out Tyler Nichols. I will link his YouTube. I will link the Amazon. Pick this book up. It's a really good read. It's fun. It's quick. It's thick, which isn't supposed to rhyme. It's not a thing that I wrote down, but it's true. I really enjoyed that book. So did Maureen. I mean, I like her conversations with Tyler. And check out Lacey Spino's The Electra Complex, which Longshot Books has published. Please like and subscribe to our pages. Thank you for watching. And ultimately, I guess I gotta give this movie a rating, which I'm gonna give a very comfortable 7.5. It's better than the average. It's a good watch. You could also do a lot better. But if you got a girl over, it's a fun time.